Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bridging the Gap. Make sure to leave a like on this video down below and subscribe. My name is Alvin. I lead right on most issues, and I'll be representing the Republican side.
My name is Luke. I lean left on most issues, and I'll be representing the Democratic side. Hey guys, we have a we have an interesting video for you today on the first debate of the 2024 presidential election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And yeah, let's just say it did not go well for Biden.
Yeah, this is probably the worst debate performance in potentially history. Definitely in my lifetime and your lifetime, but
Yeah.
President Biden, or maybe I should say Resident Biden, I'm really confused on why the Biden campaign even went for this debate. But I mean, let's start with the basics. Who do you think won this debate? What do you think
Oh,
happened here?
okay. Well, okay. I'm the Democrat in this video, and I'm gonna just say, from my perspective, it is pretty clear that Biden definitely lost. I mean, like I don't know, like it's just like his inability to respond to Trump. And not to say Trump had a good debate performance. I think Trump's debate performance was definitely worse than his performance in prior debates. Um, but it's just that Biden was so glaringly bad. And like let me just give some examples. Like in one moment during the debate, Biden is just essentially stuck stuttering for like a gruesome 20 seconds. And it's just like I don't know, like when you're stuttering that long, it's just over at that point. And I feel like it really put his age on display. And like even like I mean, I think what even made it worse is like even with the layup questions he was getting, like on abortion rights, like the broad majority of Americans are like pro-choice. They support women having the right to an abortion. He's given a layup on this question, and he starts talking like midway through his answer, he starts talking about immigration, like one of his worst issues. I'm just like, this whole debate was just like utterly horrible for Biden. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on
Yes.
it?
Yeah, I mean, I really agree with you on that last point. But I do have to push back on, Trump doing worse yesterday or 2 days ago when you're watching this video compared to his past debate performances. I do think he was better this time around than in 2020. I think Trump did actually a really good job of redirecting issues that he was bad on to issues that he's good on. And like you said, Biden did a horrible job on staying on topics where he is has the advantage, like abortion and democracy. And Trump did a really good job of redirecting. When he was asked the question on January 6th, he just talked about how on January 6th, 2021, there was a good economy, there was a closed border, etc. When he was asked about abortion, he gave a fairly moderate answer. Yes, it wasn't perfect on any front, but I do think that actually Trump did a lot better than I expected.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
And I
And
mean, I
yeah.
think like I do like agree. I think comparatively, like Trump just destroyed Biden because like when you have someone just stringing coherent sentences together versus someone who's not, like, I mean, yeah, you're gonna choose the guy who could form a sentence, of course, in terms of like debate performance. But I don't like I think if any generic Democrat was up against Trump, like who can debate, they would win. Because like I think Trump like left like there was plenty of gaps in what he was saying. Like I think it's so easy to capitalize on his criminal indictments. It's so easy to capitalize like on his election denialism, which he did bring up during the debate. That's a glaring weakness that a lot of Americans disagree with him on. Also, like, I mean, he did have his fair share of gaffes too. At one point, like when asked about climate policy, he declared that during my presidency we had something called H2O as his solution to climate change.
It's
So
funny.
he had gaffes too. I mean, they were nowhere in comparison to Biden, and that's why it was like so like gruesome to watch as a Democrat because I mean, I see Trump slipping up. And Biden is just like off in his own world, like not even like attempting to capitalize on where Trump's making errors. So Trump's just like
Yeah.
just completely free to talk, keep talking, and he gets free victories. He's essentially no opponent, so he can just keep talking and keep lying as he always does. That's just
Yeah.
how it
I
is.
mean, this video is I mean, this channel is called Bridging the Gap, and definitely a gap has been bridged today
Yeah,
because
hell yeah.
it is clear that we agree on who won this debate, and it's definitely Donald Trump. We can check some numbers here. We can talk more about the debate, but let's look at the numbers here. So today we have a few snap polls after the election. One of them I don't
Mhm.
have shown on screen, but CNN did survey debate watchers right after the debate, and two-thirds said Trump won the debate. One-third said Biden won the debate. I don't know if they have eyes and ears, but we continue on. A few polls on Trump versus Biden came out. The Survey USA poll and the Leger poll. I think it's French anyway, but uh, but yeah. So Trump is up 2 in the Survey USA poll and 7 in the Leger Ledger poll. I don't know. But I think the more important thing here is not the pronunciation. Let's look over here at the shift in the poll. Pre-debate, they did the same exact poll, 43 to 41 Biden.
Hmm.
Post debate, they have this up 8, but it's actually up 7. But Trump up 7 or 8.
Yeah.
That's a 9 point shift. And I will admit that yes, first of all, the New York Post did sponsor this poll. Okay. And yes, this is an adult sample. Okay. The other one was a likely voter sample, I'm pretty sure. So there's going to be a discrepancy there, and Trump does have more low propensity voters nowadays. However, this is a mind-blowing shift out of the margin of error. And it
Yeah.
definitely shows that opinions of Trump and Biden have changed a lot since the debate.
I okay. I still want to wait for more evidence of a post debate. I'm sure there will be one in favor of Trump. But
Yes.
like I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, like we got to be skeptical because debates like aren't everything we thought. Like I mean, we made the mistake of thinking the debate would make a big difference in the Pennsylvania Senate election in
Yes, for
2022,
sure.
and we were wrong. But yeah, like we'll see. 'Cause the like for example, you're right. The Ledger poll. I'm gonna just say it in plain American, Ledger because words. Yeah. Um, you're right. That one did shift right. But the Survey USA poll, like in comparison to the last Survey USA poll, which was Trump +4 or +5, this one did shift left. So I'm still waiting for more evidence. I'm sure, like, I mean, I overwhelmingly it does seem like people believe Biden did versus this debate, and anyone who like almost anyone who watched could see that. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I'm skeptical it'll have like a crazy shift on the polls, but I think it will slightly benefit Trump. And I think that slight
Yeah.
benefit could definitely matter in swing states.
I
So we'll
think
see.
also the thing with the debates now in 2024, this debate was very early, right? That's number one. So a lot of people aren't tuned in yet to the election, right? But a lot of people are going to be consuming this debate not on TV or on YouTube like last night. They're going to be consuming this through the news, today,
Hmm.
right? Over the course of the next week. They're going to be consuming short YouTube videos, like
Yep.
YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels of Biden just waffling on, right? They're not going to be consuming this instantly. They're going to be doing it over the course of a few weeks. Trump is definitely going to spend some of that conviction money on ads showing what happened last night or 2 nights ago, whenever you're watching this. I mean, this is going to be a stretch out thing, definitely from Trump. Trump wants to stretch the news of the debate as long as he can before he can get more bumps. And I was talking to Luke about this. I was earlier, right before this started, but Trump also definitely has bumps that he can get very soon, right? The Republican National Convention is soon, the RNC. He's probably going to get a small bump there. He has the ability to announce a a respectable vice president that can moderate, how extreme Trump is very soon, right? This is going to help Trump probably twice in the next few weeks, in the next few months. And meanwhile, Democrats are figuring out if Biden is even their nominee right now. So it's definitely going to help. The Biden chaos, the Democrat chaos, is going to be stretching the news cycle, and it's going to hurt. And here we go. You want to go through this 538 article
Yeah,
here?
yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, in this the 538 Ipsos poll, I mean, like as they essentially polled people before and after the debate and to see how people perform. I mean, as you can see, like Trump performed. ever so slightly better than they expected him to perform. Um, and I mean, as you can see with Biden, people thought he would do slightly below average, and he's way down in poor. So, yeah, like it just kind of really goes to show how bad he did. And
Yeah.
yeah, as you can see, overwhelming majority of people believe Trump won the debate. Um, and yeah, like who people are willing to consider voting for. It benefited Trump and Kennedy and not Biden.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so generally, like in every metric I could find, uh, Biden definitely lost this debate. It's just like it seems like everyone from just average American viewers to like the pundit like media class, like there's just kind of collective agreement that Biden did horrible. Like if you want to move on to like some of the media headlines and just like what's
Sure. Let's
going on in the
look at
Democratic Party.
this.
Like I don't know,
Oh,
like
sorry.
so like in the immediate aftermath of the debate for me, like I saw like just utter like just chaos and like just a kind of horror among like Democratic pundits. Like I was watching CNN and a lot of the Democratic pundits were there were just like kind of horrified, like, oh my gosh, like that was just horrible. That was a horrible performance. There wasn't even an attempt to spin it by a lot of these like Democratic operatives. And I mean, as you can see in like media headlines, like President Biden, I've seen enough. Like there's a plethora of opinion articles now essentially asking like and there's a lot just a doubt in the Democratic Party, like will Biden even be our nominee? Like should we switch him out for someone else? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just really
God
crazy
help
right now.
us. I mean,
God
this
help
is
us,
enough.
yeah.
This is the, the electoral opinion board from the New York Times too. Everyone said that Trump won except for a few, people that just can't believe what happened last night. Okay, sure. I mean, also on the Republican side, the Wall Street Journal opinion is generally pretty conservative. This is pretty objective, right? I mean, today this is not really an opinion article. Democrats can't avoid the Biden problem. That's very true, right? Right,
Yep.
Luke? I mean, this is very true. You want to talk about the campaign events right before the debate?
Oh
You
yeah,
brought this
so
up
like
earlier.
I don't know like there's a lot of things like that could have played in to the Biden's poor performance because I mean it's not like Biden has given good speeches before. We've seen his State of the Union. We've seen, I mean, he just gave a speech today that was pretty decent. But I think like this kind of I don't know, like just like that being quick-witted, like in a debate, that debate setting, like I don't know, whatever it was, he did not have the energy he has when he's giving speeches, and he did not have like the quick-wittedness he had back in 2020. So he was just essentially like completely destroyed, and that's kind of concerning considering over the last week, if you want to scroll down a bit, even like over the last week. I mean, yeah, like right there. Like you can see, no reported events for Biden. That's Biden prepping for the debate every day for the last week.
Every single day.
Yeah, he's in Camp David, like with his like advisors, and they're prepping for the debate. Meanwhile, you can see with Trump's doing fundraisers. He's doing rallies. Trump did from what I understand, like reading like news articles and consuming like the media. Trump didn't really prep much for this debate while Biden is just sitting there prepping over and over. And, you know, that prep did not show. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, is Biden even fit to be president right now? I mean, can we trust Biden in the case of a national emergency to take action? I mean, I'm not sure right now. Like, before, I was always questioning Biden's mental acuity. I thought he wasn't sharp. I thought, he wasn't really that great of a president, of course, as the Republican leaning person on this channel. But I thought, he's still the president. We should respect him, and he won the election of 2020. But now, I mean, I'm questioning if, let's say, there's a nuke coming. I think Nate Silver posted something about this. If there's a nuke coming, who can we actually trust to respond, right? Like, would you actually trust Joe Biden to respond? I think a lot of people would prefer someone else like Kamala Harris to be in charge right now and not
I'm like,
Joe Biden. I
I'm
mean,
not that worried about like one debate performance because I mean, I mean, Biden was capable of calling the U.S. Air Force and using like U.S. military assets to help strike down an Iranian missile attack on Israel. Like,
Okay,
I mean, I
but
don't think we're like incapable of defending ourselves now. Like, suddenly after this one debate performance. But
I
yeah,
don't
I
think
think
it's
you are
sudden
right in the
though.
sense that, like, okay, to what extent has Biden declined? I think that is a fair question because he definitely has since 2020. It's been 4 years. We saw how he performed in the 2020 debates, and we see how he performed in this debate. He did remarkably worse. I mean, yeah, I could see he gives speeches. Yeah, I could see he gives interviews, um, which I mean, which is fine. But still, like there has been some slippage. Like, okay, can he serve another 4 years, effectively?
No, definitely
Well, I mean,
not.
we'll have to see. Um,
Definitely not.
I don't know. Like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna say like, it's not been a total disaster in Biden. Our economic recovery has been pretty decent. We never fell in a recession as many economists thought we did. Like, I don't think it's everything's like collapsing. Like, it's not that terrible right now, but still, like, it is slightly concerning. We'll have to see, and I'm sure as the
I
campaign goes on, we're going to see more examples. Like, and Biden's going to be tested more and more. But yeah, this is like pretty glaringly bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I also want to talk about one more thing before we really move on to the replacement talk, as we will
Yeah, yeah.
talk about in a second. But right before that, I wanted to mention that Biden proposed this debate, right? His team proposed the debate. His team proposed the rules of the debate. His team proposed the networks that would host the debate, the moderators of the debate. He controlled everything of this debate. He controlled the time, the place, everything, and he still absolutely shot himself in the foot last night. He even won the coin toss, funnily enough, to get the right side of the podium on stage, which is really funny.
I don't even
Because
get why you choose podium over the last word,
yes,
which is interesting. But yeah.
I know that there's a psychological thing where the right side is better on your screen, which is why all late night hosts are on the right side and their guests are on
Mm.
the left. But I digress. Let's not get into all the psych stuff. But I personally would choose the closing statement, by the way. Um, but yeah, I think all these rules actually ended up helping Trump, right? The fact that the mics were muted when it's not your turn. I know Trump was trying to talk over Biden at least once. I saw him do it, and we just couldn't hear him, and so it actually just looked like Biden got Medicare, immigration. Like he just couldn't talk, and Trump was almost going to interrupt him and save him, but no. The mics were muted, and that actually helped Biden. I was very surprised by that. The no studio audience helped Biden because he was just standing there and there was nothing to go over his voice. I mean, all of that helped him. The moderators were extremely fair. Last night, I think we can definitely agree on that. They did a really good job on they did ask pointed questions. I just think that Trump and Biden just had different levels of being able to misdirect and actually answer questions that were advantageous to them. And so yeah, this was
Oh,
really bad.
I mean, yeah, you're
Yeah.
completely right. Like, I mean, I think the debate was helpful. It's actually my favorite format for debate. Like, I don't think
Yes,
there
me
should be an
too.
audience. I don't think, like, I do think the mic should be muted. Like, the 2020 debate was just complete chaos. And I think it is good to just hear the candidates, like, it just speak and you could judge each individual candidate. But yeah, I mean, like, I think the main problem with the debate for me is just Biden's horrible like performance. That was like the main problem. And the fact that he didn't capitalize on any of Trump's lies at all in any meaningful manner. So like
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, I think we could both agree like the debate was like flawlessly handled by CNN and
Yes.
they did that
Good
really well.
job on CNN. But one more thing though, I do think that the whole thing this morning, there was a lot of talk about like there's a lot of contrasting headlines where they would contrast Joe Biden's like mental state with Donald Trump's like lies and falsehoods that he said at the debate, which they I guess they were trying to spin it somehow to try to test the waters to see if they could save Biden, and they couldn't. I would like to note that
I mean,
Biden lied a lot too last night. I mean, we know that both of them
in
lied
terms of
an
what?
immense amount of times. In terms of what Biden lied that the Border Patrol endorsed him, right? They tweeted out, no, we
You're right, you're
didn't.
right. But they did endorse his
Biden
bill.
lied. the Biden lied about the Charlottesville thing about very fine people on both sides. It's been debunked
There's a
many
clip
times.
about that,
He's
like of Trump saying
Yes,
that though.
there is a clip where he says
There's
no, he
fine people on both
condemned the
sides.
white supremacists, but there were fine people on both sides. And then Biden brought up the swastikas last night, so he lied about that. He lied about the suckers and losers lie. That was a very obscure thing found in the Atlantic
Uh,
Journal, where there was no evidence.
it
It
was
was a
corroborated
it
by
was
one
a
of Trump's generals
only that doesn't like him, right? And where a whole lot of
after
people,
he
like
fired him. Yeah, I
15 other
guess.
people said that he didn't say that, right? So it's 1 against 15, and it's only published in the Atlantic. No other news outlet could confirm it, and it was an anonymous source other than that corroborating person. He said that Trump would cut Social Security. That's a lie. He said no troops would die abroad under his administration. 13 were dead in Afghanistan, obviously. He said unemployment
He
was
didn't
at
say no
15%.
troops would die,
He
but
said no
he
troops died under his term. That's not true.
no.
13 people
He
died
said
in
troops did
Afghanistan.
try die under Trump's administration, which is true because we had more involvement abroad. And yes, you're right. Yeah, people did die abroad in Biden's admin, but remarkably less because we're out of Afghanistan. We have less troops on the ground globally. Um, and yeah, I think just comparing what Biden stumbles to Trump's lies is pretty stark, especially when you're lying about U.S. democracy, and plenty of corroborated statements against you. I think Trump even brought up the porn star, his sexual relations with the porn star, tried to deny that. I mean, I don't know. I think comparing Trump with Biden on honesty is a pretty bold take, especially with just Trump's demeanor and the manner in which he goes about debates. I think it's just evident, like in Trump's character, that he exaggerates constantly. But yeah, like I don't know.
No, I
I do
mean,
think
I still think there was enough falsehoods on both sides. Politicians can't help lying, but
I mean yeah, of course, but
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I
I
think
think
Biden
Trump's
did
lies
lie
are
a
more
lot.
dangerous.
Okay, I won't dispute that. I think the democracy lie is actually really bad for the country. I will say that. I think that you do just have to accept elections. After I think people do have the
Elections and the
ability
justice system. Yeah.
to, yes, I agree. I agree fully. I think the Democrats should stop just questioning the Supreme Court, and trying to pack the court and stuff like that. I think that, you should not be questioning elections. Yes, I think everyone should have their legal recounts, their legal challenges, and stuff like that. And all those court challenges, but once those are exhausted, you should just have to accept and concede and, wish the other president good luck. And, if Trump did that in 2020 and said, Biden, good job. I know you're going to be a horrible president. And then now he could say, yep, I was right. He's a horrible president. Then yes, he would be in much better shape, and the country as a whole would be in much better shape. So, I agree with you there, but you know, I think he did actually say, this time this in this debate, he was a little better on democracy. He was like, like we'll probably,
He said there was
accept the
fraud in the
results.
2020 election
Yeah,
again.
no,
What do
but
you?
I mean in the
He said he'd
2024
accept
election.
them
In the
if
2024
there wasn't
election.
fraud. Like, okay,
Yeah,
that's fine. That's
I know,
fair. But he said there was
I
fraud in
know.
2020. So it's like
I know. I
that's
know.
very iffy.
It is what it is.
Okay.
I do
Anyway,
agree with you though. I do. All right, let's move on to the
yeah, you're
replacement
right.
talk though.
Yes.
Right, because this is really what's going on right now. So you want to talk about the replacement thing
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, so I mean, like this is something I saw in the immediate aftermath of the debate. Like, I mean, I was watching CNN, like that's what the debate was, and there was like a lot of talk. Was like, like they said like they were getting texts from Dem officials that there was like a mass panic in the party. Like, oh my gosh, is it like are we like should we go forward with Biden? Because the debate performance was that bad, and like, I mean,
Yes.
I'm just saying, even myself, like I'm just like, okay, like is Biden really like the guy we're gonna put up to? Um, like Trump is like the biggest threat to our democracy, like I mean like within our country, like ever. Like just his following what he tried to pull in 2020, just ever. And the best we can muster is Joe Biden, who can't form a sentence against him. So like I'm just like in awe like of that debate first, and I'm sure many Dems were too. And like in the immediate aftermath of the debate, I will say like this: we see the betting odds here. It says 71% Joe Biden, which is definitely lower than the beginning of yesterday. But after in the immediate aftermath of the debate, it was down to 50 cents. So like Biden's down to 50 cents. So it's like a 50% chance that that he would be the Dem nominee. Like it was that uncertain. Now I think more Dems have come out like in favor of Biden, like oh yeah, we're gonna just support the nominee. But it is still a notable dip from yesterday, and I think there is still a lot of questions out there. Like, is the Democratic Party really gonna keep moving forward with Biden here? So that's why you see like that's why Kamala Harris is at 10 cents right now. That's why Gavin Newsom is at 18 cents right now in terms of their percent chance of being the Dem nominee. And I don't know, like maybe like I kind of hope the Democratic Party puts up someone else because I'm not really confident in Biden's ability to combat Trump's lies. But yeah, I guess we'll just see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing here is like no incumbent president should ever be below 99 cents. Or maybe 97 cents if you're old, right? Maybe you die. But 71 cents right now, I mean, this is up because he earlier said that he would keep running. Okay, he announced this 3 hours ago as of the recording of this video. BBC reported that Biden would fight on and continue the race against Trump, which has led to this boost. So before that, in the wee hours of the 28th of June 2024, in the year of our Lord 2024, Biden was down at 60 cents. And like you said, immediately following the debate, he was at 50 cents, which is, I didn't even see that on Predict It, but I'm
Yeah.
sure you're not lying. So that's absolutely crazy. I think, Newsom and Harris are the two top candidates. I think everyone else is pretty much a joke. But I think if Democrats were to replace Biden, I think at this point it actually would help them electorally. I
Yeah.
won't give anything about policy that would happen, about substance. I will just say electability wise, I think that if you did take off Biden as of right now, like right now before July, reset, get probably Harris. I don't actually agree that Newsom's above Harris. I think Harris is a better nominee for the Democrats, even though she's very unliked among the American population. Harris does have more name recognition than Newsom, and Harris can be someone that the Democrats rally around because she's the vice president, second in command behind Joe Biden. If you put up a random governor of California, a lot of people might start wanting to jump in and try to become president, and that would be very bad for the Democrats. But I will say it would probably help their odds. I think Harris running right now, you reset. You say, Harris says, okay, guys, like, this really wasn't my fault. Like, I'm here. I'm the second in command. I will be a good president, whatever. I think she has the better chances of right now. I think, honestly, maybe Biden just needs to resign and Harris needs to take over as president right now. It might be better for
I
for the chances of Democrats. I
I don't
really
I don't think it's worth like sparking a crisis and having Biden resign this instant. I mean, like he only has a couple of months left. Might as well let him stay. But yeah, I definitely think, like personally, I think like the Democratic Party should seriously consider, and actually, I just urge them casually to get rid of him.
you should look at this too.
What does that say?
Cover the Survey USA poll on who
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
Democrats
So
would vote. Yeah, yeah.
like yeah, who the Democrats would want to replace Biden. So yeah, like if you can read the text there, yeah, it says
This is
43.
also better
Oh yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
that's much better. Yeah. So 43% of Democrats would want Harris to replace Biden in the case of the Democrats' replacement, 16% Newsom, and the rest are like single digits. Okay, yeah, Harris definitely at the top, vice president, of course, but yeah, like I would definitely think the Democrats should consider changing Biden. Even in like as of right now, like the polls that show these other candidates going against Trump right now show a deficit, like with Trump ahead. But I think that's mainly just because lack of name recognition, lack of ad money on their side. And I think once the Democratic like kind of machine gets on their side, I think they'll be completely fine in being able to beat Trump. And as I said before, I think really any one of these Democrats that you have up here, Harris, Newsom, Buttigieg, Whitmer, like all incredibly skilled debaters who I think could have easily countered a lot of Trump's points at the debate. Um, and I think just like I don't know, like just having a younger leader up there would definitely just be helpful. Like, because like I think just Biden's inability to really like effectively message for the Democrats is a problem. And you can even see in the polling, like Biden's just polling lower than the average Democrat, the average Senate candidate. Like it's clearly that it's clear he's a drag on the ticket based on the polling. So I think it is definitely worth like replacing him at this point.
Yeah, I agree, but it has to be done sooner than later. Because the later you wait, the longer you wait, the harder it is to replace him. Right after this debate is really the momentum you need to say, "Hey Joe, gotta go." Right? You wait another week, another 2 weeks. Now this new
Yeah,
cycle
yeah.
is changing to Trump's vice presidential pick. Now it's like, oh well, it's definitely gonna be Biden. So Democrats have to take action kind of quickly, but it's really hard because if you're a member of Congress and right now you say, "Guys, we should replace Joe." Yeah, that's really bad for you. If you're not
I
Hakeem
know.
Jeffries, that's basically have to be Hakeem Jeffries to say that. And
Yeah, you gotta
he's
like,
currently the
yeah,
minority leader.
yeah. You might even like, and if you say that like, and he ends up being the nominee, you're gonna end up having to run with him, and that could be really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, you need to strengthen numbers too. You need a lot of elected officials to start saying, "Yeah, Joe, you got to go." Right? You need like a lot of governors, a lot of senators, representatives, and then high-ranking officials, right? And you probably need, like someone in Biden's cabinet too, which is really hard to get. But you
And
just got to get a lot of Biden allies to say, "Biden, it's time to go." And it's really hard to get that,
and
especially
at the
Jill
heart of it,
Biden.
yeah,
Jill
you're right,
Biden.
Jill. But yeah, like I think at the heart of it too, a lot of it is just gonna be up to Biden himself, and that's what like worries me because like he
And he said no.
decided.
He said no. He
Yeah,
said no. He said
he said
don't.
no. So I imagine like I mean I read somewhere today, I forgot where. I apologize for the lack of a source, but I did read that Biden's senior advisors and are were going to be meeting today with the president. So like they're going to have a big meeting, and I imagine they're going to have the hard discussion about the debate. Uh, uh, like if they are haven't already. Um,
Was
and
was the
we'll
meeting like before the speech or
yeah,
after?
I'm not entirely like I
Okay.
don't recall, but there's definitely today. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, like I'm not sure. And I think right now, like the party doesn't know what it's going to do yet, and I'm sure like senior officials are talking about, despite like Biden saying he's going to run again. I think they're still holding up face, but I'm not like I don't think things are 100% settled yet. But yeah, it does seem like the elite class of the Democratic Party. I don't know. It's really hard to see because like all a lot of this is being held behind closed doors, so we can only see so much. Um, yeah, so I'm not sure. Like I'm personally, I'm pretty doubtful they switch out Biden. That could just be my
Yeah, same.
pessimism, but yeah, like I feel like he's the incumbent president. It's gonna be up to him, and I don't think he's gonna want to. I mean, his ego's not as big as Trump, but I think it's a pretty big ego. He's still a politician. He's the president, so
Yeah, and don't
yeah,
forget that this guy has been elected office for what, 50 years now?
like
I'm
forever.
not sure where
Yeah,
the count is, right?
before
So
we were
I mean,
born.
this guy
Yeah.
was born, yeah, this guy was like born, what, 81 years ago? I mean,
Yep.
yeah, he's been in office for 50 years. He's not going to want to leave power in 2024, right at the cusp of a second term as US president, commander in chief, leader of the free world. He's not going to do that. He wants to stay. He said he's going to stay in, right? Today. So the only way that Biden is not the nominee at this point is, he dies, of natural causes or not. Ooh, let's hope that doesn't happen. Or, the Democrat Party would have to revolt in a way that we've never seen in the history of our
Yeah,
country
that's not gonna
ever.
happen.
And they
I
would
don't think
have
it's
to
gonna
do
happen. I'm
so
sorry.
in such massive numbers that, a majority of the delegates and super delegates at the Democratic National Convention would have to vote for someone else, not named Joe Biden. And I just don't see that happening,
Yeah,
especially with Biden having Kamala Harris as his vice presidential pick. You're not going to choose Kamala Harris as your presidential nominee. Who are you going to pick as your vice president, right? It just doesn't work out at the convention. It's not going to work. Biden is, in all likelihood, well, I guess technically 71% likelihood, going to be the nominee. So
yeah.
let's just take one last look at the Joe Biden versus Donald Trump.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it definitely went down. Like yeah, you can
right
look
here,
at.
57 to 35 to 11 to 6, which is funny. I don't
But
know.
yeah,
RFK is 5 cents, but yeah.
yeah. The fact Trump like, and if you could scroll down a little bit and just see the
Oh yeah.
spike.
Let's see the spike right here.
Like yeah,
Yeah.
if you especially it's more sadder if you go to 90 days. Like if you like
Oh
there you
yeah, yeah, for
yeah
sure.
there you go. Yeah, that you could it's pretty telling just how bad that
Biden
debate
was ahead for a while
went for
too.
Biden.
Wow.
And yeah, like I don't know. This
President
is
slowly
definitely
gaining.
worrying to me as like overall, like I think the takeaway from this is definitely very worrying to me as a Democrat. Um and to me, like it's just like it's gonna be a choice. And all likelihood, as we saw with the betting odds and just like what demographers are saying, it's gonna be a choice between half alive Biden, right, half dead, if you want to be pessimistic, uh, and the guy who tried to coup the government. So yeah, that's gonna be the option we're gonna have in 2024. So not great.
Yeah, I mean, even Biden resigning is at 16 cents. That's kind of
Yeah,
high, actually.
everything
Up from 12,
spiked.
by the way. So yeah, everything's changing a lot in the betting odds. You know, the Electoral College margin helping the Republicans. Wisconsin, probably
Wisconsin.
Republicans
Yep.
now. It flipped.
Hmm.
So wow. I mean,
Yeah.
just crazy. Just crazy. I mean, wow.
Definitely, I think it definitely seems to change the dynamic more than the Trump conviction, it seems, just like
Big
the media
event.
storms has caused.
Big event in the course of American politics just happened.
Yep.
Um, yeah, probably the maybe the most consequential debate we've ever seen
It could
ever.
actually
But it
it
could
could be,
actually
but we'll
be.
see. It had
Could be.
lower
We'll see.
viewership than the other debates, but yeah, it could end up being. We never know. And we'll have
Yeah.
to wait in the coming days to
Yeah.
see more polls, get more information. But yeah, this definitely seemed like it was
Yeah.
very bad for Biden.
Let's not have too much recency bias, but I mean this is horrible. So, anyways, guys, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell us what you think about the debate. Should Democrats replace Joe? And with who, if you think they should. Share this video with your friends. Subscribe if you're new and ring the bell. And thanks for watching.
So yeah.